Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Boone here. Boone is an 8-month-old chocolate lab puppy, came in for our board and train program. He's done a wonderful job. Really proud of the things that he's done. He's very happy. Also tends to be a little stubborn sometimes, and that's okay. I see that with chocolate labs, probably more so than yellow and black labs. I know that's strange, but we have that discussion a lot here. There's something about chocolate labs, although they may come in different colors in the same litter, it just seems like they're always a little something extra, if you will. But he's been a good boy. We had to work through things, but as we started to work through things, he started getting more confident. He got more happy about what's happening, and he's done really a good job. My job as a dog trainer is to try to help our dog and our family to understand that God in his infinite wisdom put dogs on earth as pack animals. And in the pack, there's the leader to the least. And what we want to do is be his leader. All the humans in the family need to be his leader. And we do that not through intimidation, domination, breaking the spirit, hurting him, or having fear us, but through guidance. We're going to communicate with him what we want. And we're going to communicate through what I call motivation. Motivation is a combination of praise and consequence, okay? Praise is words, touch, treat, toy, and emotion. Consequence is words, touch. Touch can be the tap of the leash, and it really should be in the beginning. Could be tap like that, could be a snout, could be grabbing the scruff. None of this is designed to hurt. We don't dominate when we do that. It's teaching only. Okay, we're communicate with him. Or we can even disassociate ourselves from him, because in the pack, when we disassociate a dog from the pack or kick them out, that's like a consequence. But we don't do that. That takes very special circumstances, and I normally only share that when I feel like we need that with a dog. Well, neither here nor there. My job here is to go through, show my client, thank you very much, what we need to do and what we don't need to do as far as obedience. Obedience allows us to control behaviors, which are some of the reasons he's here. Obedience allows us to tell a dog in the moment what he's doing right or what he's doing wrong. In the moment is what I said. Timing is so important. Consistency is so important. Again, we're not here to hurt. We're here to direct. We're here to reward. And I use treats if it motivates a dog. But in the beginning, I use treats as a lure, as a teaching tool. And then gradually, they go in my pocket or go in the cup of my hand as a reward for something done well, okay? Or trying to do something well. Because sometimes if a dog really is working hard, I'll give them a treat, trying to understand what to do. That's what I believe treats are all about. I love to give my dogs treats, I just don't give them to them needlessly. You ready, buddy? He's looking around, checking things out. You're going to see me go through the obedience. If he makes a mistake or I make a mistake, I'm going to call it out, okay? If I see it. Sometimes something may happen that I don't see, but for the most part, if he makes a mistake or I make a mistake, we try to go back and repeat it, and I'll try to demonstrate it the correct way for you. You ready, man? Atta boy. He had a real hard time watching Rachel and me to begin with, okay? How did I fix that? When I did give him a treat, I made him look at me first. Good boy. Then when I gave him the treat, I praised him. Good boy, and touched. This is a guy that wouldn't hardly look at you at all. And now hopefully, it may prove me wrong, hopefully he's going to be watching me a whole lot while we're working. In real life, when you don't have him on a leash, he's doing something you want, praise him, okay? If he looks at you, praise him. Even carry a few treats around to begin with. So you can reward him in the moment. Ready? Let's go. Hear my tone. My let's go is my walking. No. Let's go. So I did have to bite him. You couldn't tell, but he thought he was going to go hop on the bed just then and do the place command. And that leads me to tell you that when we're working with our dogs, be real careful that we don't do the same routine every time. Because then our dog gets smarter than us and they want to anticipate what we want. That's going to be great as he learns and does things we want 3 months, 6 months, a year down the line, because that means he's trying to fit into our pack. Right now, he just wants the reward. He thinks the reward may be a treat, but it's a combination of things. My let's go is let's go. So we're going to go right back to him by there again. Atta boy, he made the right decision that time. But let's go as he's walking beside me. Say, for example, he got behind me, I would try to encourage him up to my side. I go, okay, baby, let's go. Good boy. I'm not going to tap the leash or provide a consequence on the let's go from behind unless he's willfully doing it. If he's saying, no, I don't want to work, then I'm going to tap the leash. If he goes in front of me, I'm going to tap the leash. I'm going to tap the leash pretty much parallel to the ground, and it's going to be back to my side. So if he was in front, I would tap back. If he was behind and I couldn't motivate him up, I would tap up. If he went that way, I would tap here. When I tap the leash, I'm going to tell him no, and I'm going to repeat the command. When he does it, I'm going to provide him a light praise. I believe even when we provide consequence, we praise our dog when they make the right decision. The consequence is not going to be near, the praise is not going to be near as strong as if he did it right the first time. Okay? Let's go. Sit. Good boy. Another thing that this guy had, and this may be important for some of you out there, he didn't sit all the way. He wouldn't put his butt on the ground. That was a no sit, or that was me pushing him to make him sit. When I ask him to sit, he has to hold that sit until I release him, okay? If he didn't sit, or if he popped up, I would go, no, sit, just like that. And then when he did it, I'd come back and give a little bit of praise. All of my clients this cycle, I made a point of tapping the leash, break it, when we weren't working, just to let them see that the consequence is nothing to fear. Isn't that right, buddy? Good boy. Okay? It's the tone and the meaning of the tap, because dogs live in a physical world. The reason we use this touch on a loose leash is to help teach our dog in a language they understand what we like. Now we add to that language. We add our language, we add treats and toys, we add emotion. Let's go. Good boy. Sit. Atta boy. That's a good boy. Now, in the beginning, when he had a hard time with that, when he did start sitting correctly, I had a treat. But he did not know I was loading the treat. I had it. He did it good. I praised him. And when I did give him a treat, and I'm going to show you now, come on. He comes, he sits. He's looking at, good boy. Treats cupped in my hand, good boy, pet love. He's still there, break, until I release him. I wanted to show you how I give a treat. I don't give a treat like this because it's just asking for a dog to bite. I always use the cup in my hand and I transition to praise with it at the same time. So let's go is a tap to my side, sit is tap up. Anytime I tap the leash is when I go or no together, okay? Because again, I'm trying to teach him the language. So many people have taught their dogs or said no in the beginning, and their dog listened in the beginning. Then you had to get louder or more exclamatory, and before long, your dog just sort of tones you out for the most part. That's why we add the physical language too. Let's go. Good boy. I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job here today. I really believe he's come a long way. Good boy. So I made that turn. He felt the leash and turned around. Okay? Good boy. That's a good boy. You notice I'm petting him while we're working. He's being happy. He's having fun. I want to encourage him. Sit. Good. Now D-O-W-N. Down. I usually do down from the side to begin with because that gives us that physical presence that a dog needs to see, okay? Then once he learns the down, I'll do it from out front, all right? Hey, sit. Good boy. Hear the tone of voice. I'm trying to encourage him with my emotion to come back up into that sit. Down. So when I tell my dog to down, he's got to go down. He has to hold the down. And unless I say the word S-T-A-Y, he's not supposed to smell the ground or pick up anything off the ground. If you go on Jim Hodges Dog Training on Facebook and scroll way back, you'll see a chocolate lab, came from another state, and her name was Penny. And she had actually eaten rocks before she had come to me, and you'll see the x-rays there. If it doesn't do harm, it's still going to do harm to your pocketbook. So people say, why do you not allow a dog to take things off the ground? For that reason. If I dropped a treat on the ground, I wouldn't allow my dog to get it. No. Down. Good boy. So I bit him, I came back and rewarded. See, the longer we have a dog here and he knows that he doesn't have to focus with us, he's going to do something that his drive tells him to do, which is smell, okay? or taste, or hear for that matter. Good boy. So if he didn't down when I asked him, or if he and he has to hold that down until I release him. I didn't say S-T-A-Y for either command. But if he did not hold that command, or he got up, or he didn't do it, here's his head, it would have been no. Towards the ground, no, down. Good boy, okay? If he makes a mistake, if he did something or I made a mistake, I am doomed to come back and repeat it and try to get it to work 2 times successfully in a row before I move on, okay? Repetition, timing, motivation, which is praise and consequence, are essential. So one of the things I'm going to do right now is I'm going to break him. I'm going to release him from that command. Break. Good boy. I brought my target here. I wanted to pet him and love him, okay? Which leads me to another thing. We're going to do the COME command. Sit. I don't know if you watched. If you go back, you'll see I actually loaded up a treat in my pocket. I don't give treats all the time, but I love to give treats on the come, especially to begin with on leash and a lot off leash to teach our dog to come. We all teach our dog not to come to us off leash by punishing when they do come, or not giving them a sufficient reason to come to us in the first place. Now I'm getting ready to go over that. Hand signal, come. He comes, he sits. Good boy. He watches me. I give him a treat, pet him, love him, tell him he's a good boy. Notice he's still in the sit command. I didn't tell him to get up. If he came to me and sat, I could have broke him and then give him the treat. Break. Atta boy. So now pretend like we're off leash, okay? And this is every time. If a dog is motivated by a treat, I want you to do this. If he's motivated by a toy, I want that toy. That toy needs to be a special toy between you and him, and have 2 of them, okay? But you have that toy tucked away, or if he's outside in the fenced-in backyard and he's running around in the yard, what you would do, and listen to what I'm going to say here when I do it. Boom, hey, look, come. Good boy. Break. What did I do? I had my toy, in this case a treat, because he loves treats. Okay, I had my toy, treat. I said, hey, Boone, he's out there running in the yard. If he had a stick or looking at butterflies or birds, and he heard me say, hey, Boone, and decided he wanted nothing to do with me, I didn't lose anything. But he sees me and wants me, and he says, I want what you got. I want to be a part of you. And he commits to start coming to me. That's when I tell him come. I don't just tell him come when he's out there. I want to build it in my favor. So I only tell him to come when he commits to coming. When he comes to me, I'm going to pay him off with treats, toy, love, okay? But if he didn't come to me, I never gave him the command to break. He was too busy, but when I did tell him come and he started coming, I'm implanting come with a lot of happy emotions, if you will. And he gets to me, he pays off. Now we got to do this, especially for a dog that's not coming to you, and you've already had him for a while, 200, 300, 400 times, every chance you can get. You do it in the house when he's in another room. You do all you can to start to teach him. And then when he does come to you off leash, you never do anything that may seem like a negative to him. You can't put him up, you can't correct him, you can't do anything like that. It's got to be a positive experience, then you break him and move on. Let's go. I can't remember, I don't know if we did it or not. Play. Atta boy, good boy. The praise came when he hit that bed, not after or on. As soon as he hits the bed, it becomes a place. If he started to get off of that place, I would bite him back on the bed and tell him no place. The next thing I would do is once he learns, I may drop the leash in the house, okay, and start moving around. If he gets up, I would pick up the leash and I would go no, 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 all the way back to the place. The place, he can lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what he does, as long as it's not a bad behavior. Atta boy. He's got to stay there. He can easily do it for an hour or 2 with no problem. I don't know if you noticed, play it back. When he laid down, I told him good boy. I did that for him. I did that for you. When we first start teaching the place, dog may get on very stiff-legged. When he sits, I tell him good boy. When he lays down, I tell him good boy. I'm trying to let him know I'm happy when he does any of those things on the bed. Break. Let's go. Sit. I hope that makes sense to you. Good boy. See how he's watching? We've got to always give love. I tell people we praise at least 20 times more during the day than we bite. There's nothing wrong with praise if you mean it, okay? It's going to improve your relationship, probably going to even improve your demeanor some too. Next is the heel command. The heel command is, I've got a box here, I've got a box here by my side, okay? His job is to stay in that rectangular box. My job is to keep him there. I don't use heel a whole lot for my dogs unless I'm trying to show off, but it does have some validity if you want it to have validity. Plus, if you're at a store like Home Depot or even a pet store, we don't want our dog smelling everything. So, or if there's a lot of traffic, we want him right here beside us, because if he reaches over to smell, we're going to bite him. Which direction are we going to bite him? Just like in the Let's Go, in the direction we need to do to get him back here. On the heel command, if I'm walking, we always have to give him a chance to respond to us as well. He can't read our mind in heel, because when we stop, he needs to stop beside us, and he needs to sit, and then he needs to hold that sit. So I always start off in the beginning. Okay, you ready, Boone? Heel. Stop. Sit. Good boy. And he holds that sit. We start in the beginning going little short, straight spots. Then afterwards we go heel. Then watch as I step off. He comes back to try to get in the box. Did you see that? Turn around. You're doing good, buddy. Good boy. And he, no sit. I said no sit, not no heel, because he was in heel, but he didn't sit. Heel. So we're going to go back. I'm going to come back and end up doing the exact same routine. We stop. Attaboy. Heel. Now we're going to turn the other way. Notice when I turn, he can't be in the box. So I straighten back out till he has a chance to recover, because he can't read my mind. That's a good boy. Right. Last thing is to load up, like you get in the vehicle. Load up. Good boy. A little slow, but I'll take it. Right. If you could see that stump there, it's got a hole in the middle, a crater, so it's sort of hard to get up. One other command that I forgot, I did the DOWN from the side, but I didn't do it from the front. Down. You notice he was already going down. That's down from in front. If he didn't down, it's still the same tap. Good boy. Right. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Let's go. So that's our story here for Boone and for me and for what we need to do. This serves as a guide for my clients to go back and see what happens, okay? It serves as a guide for a lot of you, but sometimes actually working with me helps a little bit better and sometimes not. I know I get calls from all over the country, and I thank you so much, even the world, but mostly from the country, that people have been utilizing some of my processes and they've gotten great results. That really makes me feel good, because I want to be helpful to everyone. Dogs, I've got goosebumps, but dogs are a true blessing to me. You guys are, but dogs are. Dogs have given me a wonderful life, and I want to pay back. I would never do anything to hurt them, intimidate, dominate, break their spirit, or anything like that. I will be their leader because it's for their safety and for our well-being. That's why I infuse emotion into the process as well. So, if you ever need me, you pick up the phone and call me. There's never a charge for a follow-up training on what we've done as long as you come to me, okay? My number is 336-945-3232. Website, JimHodgesDogTraining.com. There are some tips. I hope to do more videos and start putting them up. Jim Hodges Dog Training on Facebook as well. And I actually even have some products, leashes for example. These are handmade, made in the United States for me. On Amazon, Jim Hodges Dog Training, you would do the search. Thank you so much. God bless you. Take care. Good boy.